Hi, I'm Anup, and I welcome you all to Blue Saffron, the podcast program of corporateshitak.com, sponsored by Jani Plastics. And you're about to receive knowledge on Indian and Australian GST, goods and service tax. Yeah, you got it right, mate. Let's get started, shall we? Implementing GST compliance in your business. Once you have availed your GST certificate, so to speak, your GST registration is successful, you need to implement that in your business as well. This is how you do it. There are 6 basic immediate steps of GST implementation in your business. Step number 1. Send your GST number to all your parties so that they can mention it in their GST returns or tax invoices. The parties could be buyers or sellers. If it's a buyer, that is customer or client, then they will mention it in their GST returns. If it's a sellers, then they'll mention it in their GST tax invoices. Obviously, these sellers are going to be suppliers or service providers who are GST registered, because you don't want to buy products from unregistered dealer and trigger the reverse charge mechanism. What is that? There's a separate podcast on that. I would recommend you make sure you listen to that one. Step number 2, communicate your GST number with your bank. It's very, very important. Where your business holds the current account, your bank needs to know that as per government rule. Step number 3, identify HSN SSE code for each of your product or service as per government guideline to determine how much tax rate to apply. So if it's the product that you're selling, then you need to identify the HSN, that stands for Harmonized System of Nomenclature. If it's the services that you're selling, then you need to mention the SAC, that stands for Service Accounting Number. And there's once again a separate podcast on HSN SSA. Make sure you hear it. Step number 4, inform your customer about these HSN and SSE code for confirmation, so that when they generate the purchase order in future at their end, they can mention that. Step number 5, decide your tax invoice format. Now, here I would recommend seeking help from the chartered accountant. If it's Australia, it's CPI. If it's India, then CI, then tax consultant, then accountant, whoever you can get help from. Ask your friends. The invoice must have mention of HSN SSE code. I created a separate podcast on the GST invoice format as well. Step number 6, every business was given a tax identification number before GST rollout, which will turn into a GST number now everywhere in your system, websites, documents, the letterheads, and other articles. I've created separate podcasts for that as well. It explains the GST number structure if you're interested in understanding that. Now, let's take a look at the real life scenario of workaround. I also prefer calling it part of a Go Green initiative at Jani Plastics. Might, I promise you're going to like it. You see, just before GST rollout, I attended this 2 days paid GST awareness program, where I realized all my previously printed bill books were going to become useless stationery. So here I did some tricks. I got these rubber stamps made from roadside vendor at cheaper bargains. Mainly a rubber stamp for CGST 9%, a rubber stamp for SGST 9%, one for IGST 18%, and one for GST number itself. What is CGST? That's a central GST S stands for state GST, and IGST is nothing but integrated GST. And I offered my kids $100 for a bill book. Kids really enjoyed the early stage fun filled office like employment feeling while learning family business. And I got my bill books GST compliant once again, saving my both time and money. However, later, as another Go Green initiative at Jani Plastics, I created a billing software application, not just for me, but for other businesses as well, that now prints tax invoices on need basis. So if you're interested in having such application for your business, then feel free to contact www.janisoftwares.in. So, my dear listeners, I hope you enjoyed the audio. I also hope there was some takeaway for you. Signing off now. We'll come up with more interesting episodes. Till then, take good care of yourselves. Keep liking your one and only Blue Saffron. Cheers. Bye bye.